And we are back with another fantasy football video. This time it is the players you need for game week 12, the midweek fixtures that are starting tonight. After a weekend where, to be honest, everyone had a pretty poor week. I think the average was under 50, so not a great week all round. This is what my team did last weekend. Luckily, even though overall it didn't end up going too well, the fact that I doubled down on the Wolves defence and particularly Jose Sarr went very well for me, getting me 14 points for him. The whole back line actually getting clean sheets. And a special shout out to my boy Totti on the bench, getting himself 7. So gutted he wasn't actually in the starting lineup in the end. Was subject to a potential controversial penalty that was not given, but he got away with it. And 14 points, like I say, for Sarr. Rest of the team didn't particularly do very well, like you can see here. Kane getting 9 up front was the best I could do from the rest of the team. I did say it was a weekend where there were several strikers that I think were available. Unfortunately, I did pick the wrong ones in terms of Jesus and Scamacca. A couple of the other strikers that I mentioned at the weekend will be present in today's video, so keep a lookout for them. But overall, like I say, 59 points for me, which was good enough to secure a solid finish for this week. And it only meant that there were just 2 winners for week 11, and that was George Hartigan and Mike Williams. So congratulations to both of you. A very big score of 72 for George Hartigan, making him the top point scorer in the league this week. But not only that, that has pushed him significantly far up the table, getting him closer to our leader after 11 game weeks. The gap is now brought right down by that. Very interesting decision from our leader, James Morris, who decided to play his wild card and then didn't get a very good score. So potentially a mistake made from him there. We'll see how that pans out over the next few weeks. But changing a winning team is potentially a massive risk. But there is your top 15, as you can see on the screen right now. So congratulations if you're in that top 15. Still only 70 points between 1st and 15th. So plenty to play for with an awful lot of the season still to go. Let's look ahead to these midweek fixtures. Because to be honest, I think this is a very, very hard team to pick this week. Because without the Man City and Arsenal players available and a lot of the other high-end players either in tough fixtures or just injured, it makes it a very tough team to pick. So I'm just going to run through it player by player. I'm going to start with the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper is going to be Robert Sanchez of Brighton. I think Brighton probably have the best chance of keeping a clean sheet. I'll also jump straight to my first defender, which is going to be Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace. And I think, again, Palace have a good chance of the clean sheet. It was very much a toss-up of whether I go for Gaeta in goal and Veltman in defence or Sanchez and Anderson. I've gone for it this way round because I think Brighton have more chance of the clean sheet. I think Gaeta will make more saves, but I also think there's more chance that Wolves score against Palace. So that's why I've gone for this way round. I think this is the best chance of getting the overall points combination between these two. But again, like I say, it could go either way. So a little bit unsure, so that is what I've gone for. The rest of the defence, I'm going to start with Kieran Trippier up against Everton. He has been absolutely fantastic this season for Newcastle. He's currently England's fittest right back. I know Trent did return at the weekend and could start tonight for Liverpool, but I think right now Kieran Trippier is probably Gareth Southgate's top pick for that right back spot and thoroughly deserved. He is in the best of team overall so far this season. And up against Everton, I think Newcastle have a chance of a clean sheet. Not the best chance, but have a chance of a clean sheet. And Trippier is always good for points going the other way as well. And speaking of Liverpool fullbacks, we are going to round off the defence with someone who hasn't really been spoken about a lot this season, and that's Andy Robertson. And I don't think a lot of people have realised that during Liverpool's bad run of form, Robertson's not been playing. He's had an injury for nearly an entire month, which has coincided with all of these bad results that Liverpool have been having. So he's been back for the last 2 games, very good against Rangers, very, very good against Man City. Kind of overshadowed by everyone was sort of talking about Milner and Joe Gomez, but Andy Robertson was absolutely fantastic on that left-hand side for Liverpool against Manchester City, and I'm backing him to do another good job today, or this week, should I say, against West Ham. And we'll continue with Liverpool because the captain for this week, off the back of his 2 fantastic performances, it has to be Mo Salah. Much as I hate to admit it, you've got to back him to carry on where he left off. Hat-trick against Rangers, winner against Man City. You've got to back him to continue that sort of form against West Ham. He seems to have his mojo back, so when Mo is firing, you put Mo in your team and you make Mo captain. So that is what I'm going to go for there. Next to him, we are going to go for Mason Mount, another man who is in absolutely fantastic form for Chelsea right now. And despite the fact that I do like to moan about him when it comes to playing for England, I think right now he probably would make my England starting 11. He seems to have stepped it up a little bit over the last few games. And up against Brentford, another good opportunity for him to score some points. Next to him, we're going to go for a slight gamble in the... I'm not really sure who to go for in midfield this week, and this man has been playing very, very well for Manchester United recently. I'm going to go for Marcus Rashford again. I think he has a chance of causing some problems. Tottenham have had a few issues on the right-hand side of their defence, and Rashford has looked very good down our left-hand side over the last couple of games. He also has a very good record against Tottenham as well, so I'm just going to back him for this one game. A little bit of bias with, like I say, the Man City and Arsenal players aren't available, so you've got to try and find those little players that might just do something in those games. And rounding off the midfield, annoyingly, we have lost my boy James Maddison for this game due to suspension. But I am going to back another Leicester player to step up in his place, and I'm going to go for Harvey Barnes. I think at home to Leeds, Leicester still have a chance of scoring some goals, and with Maddison unavailable, there is a shout to go for potentially a Drewsbury Hall or a Yuri Tillemans, but I just have a little feeling on Harvey Barnes in this one, so that is why I'm going to go for him. As for the attack, again, I think there are so many good striker options available to you this week. I'm going to start my attack with Harry Kane. 5 goals in 5 games for him, the first time he scored in 5 consecutive Premier League games in his career. Going to Old Trafford, again, he has a very good record against Manchester United, especially over the last couple of years, so I think he's going to cause problems. I do fear for United in this game, like I said in the predictions video, so I think there is justification to go for Kane in your teams for this week. Next to him, I am going to go for Alexander Mitrovic, the third top scorer in the Premier League, but behind Haaland and Kane. They're up against Aston Villa. Again, a great opportunity for Mitrovic to get in there and score some points. And finally, the man that I'm gutted I didn't go for in the last weekend's fixtures. I spoke about him a lot, but chose not to go for him. But I'm not going to make that mistake again this time. I'm going to go for Dominic Solanke. He has been absolutely fantastic for Bournemouth over the last few games, showing some of the potential that he showed all those years ago in that under-17s tournament. Finally starting to prove himself in the Premier League. Some people already saying potential outside chance of an England call-up. I'm not so sure about that, but if he keeps on the way he played the last couple of games, bagged himself a couple of goals against Southampton, there is any opportunity he could get himself in there as well. Like I said, there are definitely other options available. You could go for some Crystal Palace strikers, Callum Wilson, potentially still Ivan Toney at home to Chelsea, Aubameyang away at Brentford, Firmino for Liverpool, Nunez for Liverpool. There are so many different ways you could go with your attack this week, but these are the 3 that I think you're going to go for. And because I've not actually spent a lot on the team this week, it does mean I can give you some alternative options that I think would be good shouts on the bench. So Nick Pope, another good option for goalkeeper. Andreas Pereira, again at home to Aston Villa, could be a very good shout for you this week. I've stuck Timothy Castagne down there. Like I say, Leicester are still looking for results. Castagne normally does well when he's in the team, and it looks like he will be playing against Leeds this week. So potential for him to pick up some points. And of course, we're leaving Totti in there because Wolves, again, potentially have an outside chance for clean sheet. I went for 0-0 in my prediction series. So you never know. Could be another good chance for Wolves to get a clean sheet. And Totti is currently playing every game for Wolves, and he's only 3.9 million, so potentially a very good pickup for you there. And that is going to be it for today's video. As always, let me know down in the comments, firstly, how you got on and what team you're going to be rocking for this week. And of course, if you think that your team has what it takes to beat the best of Game Week 12 team, why not join the Esso 99 League? Link to the league is on the screen right now to get your team into the league. Either enter your main team or just build a brand new team just for this game week to see if you can beat mine. That is going to be all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you for my post-match reaction to Manchester United Tottenham. Thank you very much for watching.